let's talk about Trump, because I think there were two major bombshells in the trial. One was their star witness admitting to be a grand larcenist, and two,
Oh, I'm sorry that I stole $30,000 from the Chunk organization. They didn't give me enough of a bonus.
he
Can
said
you
it was
God,
for
can you
therapy
can
or
you
something.
can you literally imagine any other individual in the entire world not aiming their guns at Trump, making that statement, and the courtroom doesn't gasp?
Well,
I don't think so.
dude, the whole thing. I mean,
He's done.
yeah, Trump won. It's over.
Mhm.
There's no way.
Yeah.
I know that there are like the Trump black pillars out there, and I understand. They'll say, who will just say, well, they'll just, they'll do this or that. Dude, there's no way a jury convicts the guy whose job it was, the only guy who could
Star witness.
tie Trump to making these payments imploded on the stand. Worse, I mentioned my video of this. It was the worst implosion on the stand that I've seen. Now, I'm not exactly a courtroom drama guy, but you know what it reminded me of? Gage Grosskreutz, whatever his name was.
Rosenkreutz.
Yeah, when he's like testifying in the Kyle Rittenhouse trial. And
it reminded me of Jean Tell from the Trayvon Martin.
That one too. Yeah, that one too.
It made grass sounds when the phone hit the grass.
Yeah.
I can't read cursive.
I can't. the guy, like, I think it was Gage, wasn't it? Where he's like,
yeah, Rosenkreutz.
What were you? What were you doing when he fired on you? Oh, I was aiming my gun at him.
It's just like, well, that pretty much puts it away.
Well, like the
case dismissed. No, that was those three are the most crazy. This is the third craziest after, as you said, Rosenkreutz and Jean Tell from like the Trayvon Martin thing. This is easily the third craziest testimony that I've ever heard. You're admitting on stand in front of literally the entire nation, because everything is transcribed, and by the way, this is a grade A+ trial. Literally everyone is waiting with bated breath. They're looking for live updates on every legacy media site and every commentator that they can. What do you tell people? Yeah, I thought that I needed a bigger bonus, so I embezzled $30,000.
Yeah. And then,
oh my God! But when I saw that, I'm like, okay, that pretty much shelves it.
That's it. Yeah, I mean there was I think there was
a star witness, even worse than Stormy.
They had Stormy was also. I think she said her cousin was demonically possessed or something like that.
Yeah, she said she could talk to the dead, and like that was weird and stuff. But at least that wasn't your star witness. At least that was an auxiliary. So it's kind of forgivable. But Cohen was the star witness for the defense. Totally destroyed.
So at the end of the day, not all the way to the end, there's actually two more things I want to talk about with this. So yes, the embezzlement was hilarious and broke this morning. But then there was another exchange where Blanche goes, "Did you mean it when you said revenge is a dish best served cold?" "Yes, sir." "Were you willing to lie under oath if it affects your personal life?" "Correct." "Or you were willing to lie under oath if it affects your personal life?" "Correct." "I don't understand your question." "Blanche, you testified under oath months ago that you were willing to lie if it affects your personal life, correct?" "Yes." "Blanche, so I'm asking."
He's being honest.
Yeah, I mean, right. I think most of us,
yeah, of course I would lie under oath.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to ask me that, though.
Yeah. Then he goes, "So I'm asking you the same question. Would you still be willing to lie if it affects your personal life?" Bragg, objection. Mercan, sustain. Blanche, would you be willing to lie if it affects you personally? Yes.
Yeah, that is going to go real well in front of the jury.
If you're sitting on this jury, like legitimately.
I have a feeling that it'll be unanimously to vindicate Donald Trump at this point. It's going to be stacked with liberals, but there's no way that they can look at that and that they're not going to weigh that. There's no way that there's not at least one juror in that room who will say, "Fuck this shit. There's no possibility of me voting guilty."
Right.
It'll be a hung jury and a mistrial, or it'll be not guilty at this point.
Yeah, the imagine
almost a guarantee.
The thought around, or the dream of like a literal actual not guilty verdict is hard for me to imagine happening. Just
It's
based
not
on
at this at the beginning of this trial. I would have said, okay, it's not likely, because statistically speaking, it wouldn't be.
yeah.
Manhattan jury. You've got a judge who quite clearly doesn't like Trump too much.
Yep.
After this latest testimony and after the Stormy Daniels meltdown, though, I can't see anything other than not guilty verdict.
You have to. Yeah, I think
I'd be surprised if they found him guilty at this point. And he's wishing that they would find him guilty. He wants to go into house arrest at the Mar-a-Lago so that it'll look like blatant and naked election interference. Yeah, ironically speaking, Trump loses in winning on this one.
Yeah, I mean, he'd rather be free man. I think he's far enough ahead right now of Biden.
Yeah.
I want him to just
get one hell of a boost.
I know, but with who's left? You know, like you know what I mean? Like, he's not converting any Biden voters. The Trump voters are showing up. I guess you maybe get a better turnout. Like, maybe
there are still some independents. There are still some independents that are on the fence. That's still 2 or 3 points right there. And yeah. I think that if he did end up under house arrest with an ankle monitor on, I think that would actually endear him to them. I think he'd do even better. It'd be an Elba moment.
If it was like, yeah, okay, at least as long as he doesn't go to prison. Like,
even if he goes to prison.
Yeah,
but they can't send him there because he's got Secret Service detail. How are they supposed to send him to prison?
Plus, they don't even put people in jail that push people in front of the subway there.
Yeah, you can literally stab somebody. You can stab somebody to death in broad daylight in front of 100 witnesses and face less time than Donald Trump is facing for any of these individual charges. And that's the perversity of our system.
Then you see at the very end of today, I don't know if you saw this, but the Trump they had to clear the courtroom.
Oh God.
Because former President Hush Money trial briefly devolved into a rowdy scene Monday after the judge admonished a witness brought to the stand by Trump's defense team. The witness, lawyer Robert Costello, elicited a tense exchange with Judge Merchan over his decorum in the courtroom, where at one point the judge demanded to know if he was being stared down. Monday, I mean, like, is this Trump just like...
Are you looking at me too much, boy? You avert your eyes. You ain't allowed to look at me. I'm the judge.
Stop looking at the guy in a giant podium and dress.
Why does this sound like a goddamn Confederate proceeding? It sounds like a legal proceeding that you would get in the Jim Crow era with a black man on the stand.
Well, what is he supposed to do? You know, like, who is he supposed to be looking at?
If he looks down, look at me, boy. If you look at him, no, look away. Okay, look at him. No, you're not allowed to do that either.
Right, yeah.
You're being non-attentive. You listen when I speak, boy. It's Merchan. Merchan is just trying to get the big balls and throw his weight around, be the big judge.
He's
sort of like Engeron.
Engeron was, oh man.
At least Merchan has a normal last name and doesn't sound like a Star Wars villain.
Yeah,
like he sounds like the dude in the next Star Wars episode that gets killed in the first 30 minutes because he's bad with a lightsaber.
Commander Engeron, the Jedi forces are advancing.
I'm General Engeron.
Yeah,
I will own you.
And then look at this. Stealing from Trump was self-help.
That's, by the way, you're allowed to commit a felony to the tune of $30,000 as long as you're just helping yourself. You didn't get enough of a bonus, okay, so you embezzled some money. That's water under the bridge. I notice he's not on trial for felony embezzlement.
He will be. I guarantee.
Nope. I don't think they'll put him on trial.
Well, Trump will sue him.
Trump won't do anything.
Yeah, I guess. Why even bother, right?
Yeah, like Trump will completely ignore it. And Cohen will melt into the background and be forgotten by everyone.
I feel like Trump is pretty petty, though, and 30 grand is a lot of money to admit.
If anything,
stealing.
If anything, he pisses me off for being a little bit too forgiving at times.
He does, yeah. You know,
I mean, look at what happened to Hillary. Did she get locked up? No.
I know, that's one thing I often throw in his face too. Like, he didn't even investigate her. It wasn't that he got to be president and completely forgot about it.
Part of that was smart because it's like, you know, the investigative agencies, whose side are they on? Well, they're on her side, so that made sense, I guess, sort of. But
yeah,
I wish he would go a little bit harder. Get a Magnum PI up in there,
Well, or just, like at least get some of these fucks. Like, you stop relying on the Trump curse. Like,
yeah, it works, but yeah.
Well, it's going to be wild if Avenatti testifies in the Trump defense. Like, I mean, what if you sit on the jury like, wait a minute?
He's already come out and said he's not sold on Biden.
He said he's not sold on Biden, and he also said Trump did nothing wrong. With this case.
That's probably damning, actually, because, I mean, not that anyone really cares what Avenatti has to say, but he had severest TDS. And now all of a sudden he's like, well, I don't know who I'm going to vote for. I voted for Biden before, but, he's been a disaster for the country. Oh, I loved that. When I saw that, I was ready to cream myself.
Well, there's a lot of people like that. Michael Rappaport. Like, I don't think that these guys, it's my opinion that a lot of these TDS or terminal TDS people who are kind of coming out and being like, man, Biden's so bad, they're not going to vote for Trump, but it's still a win if they don't vote for Biden. It's
if they're not supporting him. Exactly.
Yeah. Like, I'm fine with that's a W for me. People are like,
I strongly support weak Biden fans staying home. Absolutely.
Yeah, me too. And that's where you're going to see it. Like, you're going to see it in Michigan. Let's see if Dearborn has any balls.
Oh God,
that would cost them the state. They don't even have to vote for Trump.
If the Dearborn Muslims, I don't think they even quite understand their power right now, because the 200,000-300,000 Dearborn Muslims that are in Michigan could literally swing the election.
Right.
You can mint the new president of the United States.
They generally
we'll see who you mint.
Well, here's the thing. If they vote for Biden, it's not guaranteed. But if they abstain or vote for Trump, it basically is guaranteed.
Yeah, if he gets Michigan, he's won.
Yeah. So
if it looks like he's a couple points ahead on election night, then he's won quite clearly.
Right. It's going to be
or if he grabs Virginia. If it looks like Virginia or Maine are in play, it's going to be a bloodbath.